today I get the fancy lunch. So my milkshake is goji berries, strawberries, sour cherries, some probiotic, and what do you call it? Soy meal replacement powder. And that's my miso soup. And if I'm still hungry, I'm gonna eat the half a bar of this that's left. James is having this and a grilled cheese sandwich and his leftover stuff. And Paper Moon got top of the stack, and it was awesome. And against these other ones here. So we will be talking about that. Now, I'm going to show you, this is my outfit for today. I didn't get dressed up for dinner. I'm just wearing just normal clothes, whatever. And I don't really care, because as you may have noticed that this bar, it has lots and lots of carbs. So I'll show you there's the carbs, and there's the ingredients there. And you may have guessed by the fact that I'm drinking a smoothie today although I drink smoothies every day, but this smoothie is not a high-fat smoothie, it's a high-carb smoothie. Or, well, relatively, compared to what I've been drinking. So, yeah, James is going to talk about the stuff.
Am I?
Yep, you go right ahead. Or whatever you want to talk about, because the first couple things in the stack you watch too, and you may as well review them, because yeah, we both really like them, and James knows the actors' names and stuff. So
this one,
don't even think about it. Come on, don't even think about it. I got coffee in my hand. Don't even think about it.
Yep.
Don't even think about it.
Little addition to the. So 1973, that says, and that was my memory of it. 1973 Paper Moon. I never saw it when it came out. I would have been about 19 years old when it came out. And to be perfectly frank, I knew Ryan O'Neal at that point in time from his little, it might have been when he first started out, his efforts at acting for some TV series called Peyton Place. I weren't that impressive. He struck me as being a pretty boy. Apparently he had a bad temper in real life. He doesn't really have to vent his temper in this movie that much. It's generally people venting their temper on him. But he seemed to have picked up some acting chops by the time this movie came around. I wouldn't call him even Paul Newman quality. Maybe better than who was another pretty boy? Bob Redford, was that his name?
yeah.
No.
So
Robert
it's
Redford.
interesting, this show, because it's a father and daughter team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tatum O'Neal won an Oscar. I presume it's for supporting actor, but she did a great job. One of the best jobs, because it is a. It's not like a little cameo role the way they have for. And I advise generally, if you're going to have kids on screen, make it a cameo role. But she's got a major part in this movie, and she did a great job. And she ended up being a actor. Yes, basically full time. It's an interesting story.
And her last line in the movie, awesome.
I've forgotten what it was. It was impressive. Do you recall
No.
exactly?
I know exactly what it was, but I'm
But
not
you don't
going
want
to
to give
say
it
it.
away. Okay. Anyway, so it's based in the 30s, and on the American prairies, American plains, Midwest, and I don't think it's really given anything away to say he's Ryan O'Neill's a con man. Picks up this girl who could potentially be his daughter or something like that. He's kind of been a guy who's led a nomadic existence and so on and so forth. And you'll have to see whether she's his daughter in the movie. In real life, she was. It had a great performance by Iggy Baby off of Magnum P.I. Because as I recall, Magnum P.I. didn't he have a kind of a snobby English accent?
I think so.
Here he had kind of like a Midwest, not quite Southern accent, very American accent, and very, well, I'm going to say threatening kind of, really it's a different energy, like he was really
Very different.
threatening. Iggy Baby's kind of like, like a little bit prissy and all that sort of stuff, so it's too bad the guy didn't have the looks, but he should have been used in way more movies than he was. And Madeline Kahn, she did a great job, but usually every time I've seen her, and she's played different roles, she's done a great job. So those four, there weren't many other people starring in it, but it's largely just following this couple as they head on down the road.
Yeah. And I normally don't like
road
more
movies.
Modern movies that are made in black and white.
In black and white, but it works.
I loved it. It works with that.
It's about the 30s and stuff like that. They had color film by then, but I think it's basically just trying to express how hard up people were for cash. Frankly, just for jobs back then. So, very well done. So again, if you folks think that, I don't know about
It's
Pauline,
a must-see.
but,
Paper Moon is a must-see. Everyone must see it.
I guess.
For sure. It's so awesome.
Some people might think that I'm really negative when it comes to movies, but I don't think so. This is another, well, here we go. What You Wish For.
It's awesome too.
I shouldn't have to explain what that title means. It's something. It's kind of like a proverb or something like that. And I don't know who put this thing out. Generally, I'm not a big fan of horror movies. Is that not correct, Pauline?
Exactly, but he really enjoyed this one.
This is one of the best I've ever
excellent.
seen. Yeah. So that's really what stands out, I think, in this. There were a couple of places where the writing kind of let things down, but usually in horror movies, it's just like at every corner, you're saying, why did that person do that? They're like, doesn't happen here really, but the typical horror movie, like, I'm scared, let's split up. Yeah, so, and it just keeps on, typical horror movie. That's why I like horror movies that are comedies or parodies or whatever. That's why the one with Bruce Campbell, or they put out two of those, didn't they, at least? At the very least?
Well, they put out, they put out Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Classic.
That was meant to, I think the first one, Evil Dead, was done in, I think a couple of the guys were going to film school or something like that, but Bruce Campbell wasn't. I think he was in economics or something. He wasn't studying to be an actor, but he's just so perfect. And
one of the best comic actors ever come.
I think he was just a friend, right? And he just was a part of it. So, but then, it ended up being so popular that, not so, like as a horror movie, sure, but It sort of comedy, and so then they just went that way. So Evil Dead 3: Army of Darkness, it's just comedy.
So yeah, those are the kind of horror movies I tend to like. Don't be fooled. This is not one of those sorts of things. But
Although my sister was upset with me when I showed her young children Evil Dead 3: The Army of Darkness.
were they freaked out? Who knows?
No.
Anyway, that's the way it goes.
But I mean, I think of it as a comedy.
Yeah.
But maybe
Sometimes
people
I don't know how old they were, but I can
don't
recall
know,
seeing a
10.
nephew of mine when he was watching one of the Lethal
I have no
Weapon
idea.
series, where probably the first one where Bruce, what's that idiot's name? That Australian guy, Mel Gibson.
Oh my
smelled
gosh,
it.
this is so much better than the smoothies I've been drinking.
Anyway, Mel Gibson's threatening to, well, not threatening, he's looks as though he's going to commit suicide, and my little nephew was just going, and he's very scared. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to know what kids can handle.
When I was young, when I was 5 and first saw TV, I was born in Africa. We didn't even have running water, we didn't have electricity, and stuff like that. And we didn't have heating, really. We had wooden stoves and stuff like that. But it got cold in Africa right after the rainy season. It'd get down to just above freezing, just above 30, maybe 33 above or something like that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, there are things that I'd like to say about this movie, but I don't want to give anything away. And so it's like,
yeah, it's just.
What do I say?
Well, it's horrific, and I'm going to say expect not to like any particular person in this, with maybe the exception of the cops. And this guy and the cop. So all I'll say is they're very different characters in here, and they all seem to be very well cast and well directed.
The story's interesting.
Yeah.
It's one of the best horror movies I've ever seen.
Now, if you have a queasy stomach and watching horror movies and stuff like that, not recommended. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for everyone.
Oh, that's delicious.
You know, if you like horror movies, I think you might like this one.
Yeah.
It's actually reasonably well written. Like I say, there aren't I could think of a couple of places where I say, why did that person do that? Or how did they get away with that? Okay, so this is Pauline stuff. I haven't even seen this.
So Memoir of a Snail. It's claymation thing, I guess, or whatever. What would you call this?
Is it claymation?
Stop motion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, and it's very like detailed and beautiful sort of artwork. It's told as kind of an autobiography, about somebody who does stop motion, which I wouldn't normally like at all. I'd just be like, oh, what a loser film. But
it's self-referential. In other words, I don't like poetry that's written about poetry.
Yeah, I know, totally. Yeah.
But this one kind of
but this
works
one
in
works
spite of
okay.
itself. Okay.
Yeah. So there's enough story there. It's interesting enough that, I would say that people might enjoy watching that. Unicorn Wars. I don't think this is for. It says beautiful and hypnotic, horrifying and nightmare-inducing. At the beginning, it said kids something, and I'm like, they didn't put it in the kids section at our library, thankfully, because this is not for kids, not at all. It's there's a lot of violence in here, and I mean, maybe this is what kids watch in Spain. I think this is Spanish, but boy, it's it says it's Bambi meets Apocalypse Now.
You're making it sound more like apocalypse now. Whereas
Yeah,
Bambi
well-
starts off pretty horrific, isn't there? A forest fire. And,
True, but not anything like this one.
yeah.
So, like it says here, it says G Kids in circle.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but this is very much not for kids.
Mm.
There's right near the beginning. It's about like there's the teddy bear army, the leader of the teddy bear army or whatever. I guess he'd be a general or something like that. He's talking to his army guys, and he says something like, "You'll have a unicorn shove his horn up your," and he's yeah, and they're dropping the F-bomb, they're whatever.
Well, you know, like I'm listening to a sports station, and there's one radio announcer I can't stand. He sounds African American, it's American feet, and he talks that way, and I'm going, that's too strong
Yeah,
for radio, and that's for me as a grown up. What an idiot.
yeah, this is, and honestly, it's, if I wasn't busy, I was working out on the machine, because even though I'm now drinking smoothies that taste better, I'm still working out on the machine, because although we got out for a little walk today, there's snow
It was a
everywhere.
nice little walk.
Yeah,
We picked a good walk. It was nice and relatively dry.
so, and we'll see. I mean, I'll keep working out on the machine and see. Eventually, I'll be like, oh, I don't need that anymore, or whatever. We'll see how things go. I'm just playing it by ear. So, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone.
Yeah, you finished watching that one, eh?
Yeah, well, I fell asleep in it and woke up and thought, oh, James is going to watch this. And then I thought, maybe he won't, you know.
Well, I want
So-
to see it. I like the pairing of these two guys.
Yeah, Jock Lemon and Walter Matthau
Mhm.
are in this one. So this is the
But,
fortune cookie.
You've got it below that last one.
I do. I really didn't. The thing is, I like these guys together. You're right. I like the pairing of these guys. But
It's a
I
great
just-
comedy team.
I just didn't care for the movie. And like I said, I fell asleep and I didn't care to replay what I missed. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Like
see.
Jack Lemmon is,
We might, if James watches it, he might bring it out again and talk about it some more, whatever. The Rainmaker. Now, I was really wondering, should I put this
Is
above?
that
Should I
Burt
put it below?
Lancaster then?
It sure is. And Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, no.
In a Western.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Gotta be the 50s.
1956.
Yeah.
And Kate Hepburn doesn't look great in this. Really, it looks too thin. I mean, she always
Way
looks
too thin.
but she doesn't look good. And she did a great job acting. Like, there were some parts where she was really frustrated with this guy, and she does that well. She gets angry well on screen, and she turned beet red, and it was like, wow, that was. But she's a great actress, and so I had a hard time deciding where to put this, because I'm like, she did a great job, because she always does, but the movie,
How about Burt
Didn't care for it.
Lancaster? He's,
yeah, he did a good job too. But the movie it wasn't a good vehicle. So I don't think anyone would enjoy watching it.
what the hell is it called? Have I heard of it? I've heard of it.
Little Buddha. So I don't know.
Oh my God. And there's stuff below that?
1993, yeah. And I had a hard time deciding where to, well, Sasquatch Sunset. Where would you put that?
It would be on the deck
Yeah.
right now.
So that, anyway. Little Buddha. I don't know. I really, Keanu Reeves, Chris Isaac, and Bridget Fonda. I didn't expect a whole lot, but I got a whole lot less than I expected.
Well, I know
There's a
Chris
lot of
Isaac
great
from
special
Twin
effects
Peaks.
in here.
Wasn't he in Twin Peaks?
Yeah,
He did a good enough job there. But
yeah.
wow.
But
Sorry,
they
I'm wrong.
relied on child actors too much. There was too much. I know around this time with Tibet and everything, everyone's like, free Tibet and whatever. But I think they were trying to make Buddhists in Tibet seem too much more progressive than they, So I don't want to give things away with the movie, but come on. It's more likely that there's going to be a pope elected that's selected. Then, anyway, I don't want to give it away. Just in case you want to watch it, do you want to talk about anything with this? Or
Well,
what?
they were looking at 3 candidates, children.
Oh, he's going to give it away.
To be the next. Well, it's at the beginning there.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Well, they're
giving-
looking for, and it turns out that there are 3
Next
possible
Lama.
candidates for,
So, one of them looks like something that's never been a llama before. But who knows? Anyway, this came from a guy I expect.
Well, I guess you could say 2, because I doubt that there's little blonde boys from America would ever be selected either.
Yeah, we go.
But anyway,
Anyways, from Bernardo Bertolucci, is that the name of the fellow?
there's a lot of interesting. The story could have been told a lot better, is what I have to say about that. But yeah, it feels like it's 140 minutes long, and it feels so much longer than that.
Oh my God! Did I even? What? I don't think I watched.
You fell
the end.
asleep quite a lot.
Oh, I caught up on a lot of sleep in this one, folks.
Yeah.
So if you're insomniac, this might be just what the
Yeah,
doctor
it might
ordered.
be good
But
for
yeah, I mean, Keanu Reeves, when used properly, is okay.
I know.
And Bridget Fonda
And he did
is
look
more than
very,
okay.
very pretty.
Well, yeah, when they
as,
put some eye makeup on him, it's kind of got small eyes, but
Yeah.
yeah, he looked quite handsome, pretty, whatever.
Yeah.
Bridget Fonda is more than just an average actor. Not as good as her mom is usually, but anyway, I can't say it was a disappointment because I only saw at the end Bernardo Bertolucci. I was going, what a clunker, and then I see his name there. I'm like, wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Right, Sam and me. So, this was directed and produced by Dipa Mehta, and that's a Canadian, and it's set in Toronto. And normally, I like that person's work. Didn't like this one so much. It was just kind of boring, and I didn't really see a point to it. So, that's that. Sasquatch Sunset. Now, it's, I thought, at first when I saw that Jesse Eisenberg was in it and stuff like that, I thought, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. And when I first put we've been watching movies with the subtitles on, because we have a little bit of sound, but not enough that we could hear anybody talking on the TV. So we have the subtitles on, and I put the subtitles on when this came on, and I thought, I don't know if I'll even need them for this. And no, you don't. There's a lot of grunting, and there's like
Passing gas.
yeah, sure, whatever. Sasquatch is having sex. It's just silly.
Once is too many times.
We didn't make it all the way through this, and I don't recommend.
That suggests
if
that we
anybody
cut
made
it out.
it all the way through this, I'd be surprised, because this is just terrible.
That suggests we cut it off with 15 to go, but we maybe got through 20 minutes of it.
And it felt like
Half an hour.
forever.
Yeah.
I think they used the Harry and the Hendersons costume.
Yeah, left over.
Yeah.
Looked a little moth-eaten, but...
That was kind of cool. Good to get some
But
extra use out
didn't
of
you
it.
prefer Harry and the Hendersons?
For sure.
There we go.
That I'd watch again.
I think
Not
I
this.
would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, There were a lot of things in this right away that, like, James was commenting on it, I was thinking it. Like, when they're grazing in a meadow, and it's like, okay, for one thing, Sasquatch wouldn't graze in a meadow, or they would have been spotted a long time ago. You know,
They
that's
would have
not
hunted into extinction.
Exactly. So that's not even believable. Don't have them doing that. And for another thing, they'd have like a bouquet of flowers stuck in the middle of a whole bunch of dried grass, and it's like, okay, do the people who made this movie, do they even understand nature at all? Have they gone out to look at how things grow naturally and whatever? It's ridiculous. And then later on, there's a bunch of, find a whole bunch of berries. Well, they're probably, I mean, this is supposed to be, it says in the North American wilderness, and they have some, I think it's Cape gooseberries. James was saying they might be tomatillos, but no, I think I saw orange. I think it was Cape gooseberries.
Yeah, I had those as a kid in South Central Africa.
Yeah.
So Cape, I think it's like around Cape Town.
So they find a whole bunch, and the leaves are all wilted and stuff. It's like a big pile of Cape gooseberry branches with
Pauline
gooseberries
pointed
on
this out.
them.
Why
the leaves
are they
all
wilted?
Oh, because they're not actually planted there. That's why.
Someone just ripped the bush up.
Yeah, or cut the branches and stuck them in a pile, and they're like
plants start wilting right away. You know, like if you got them out in the sunshine.
So it's just ridiculous.
All they had to do is they weren't showing the
nice
bottom.
Scenery, but
put
it's
it
not
in
good
a pot.
Like James was commenting with what you wish for. There's awesome scenery in this, and it's maybe more awesome than the scenery in this one. And there's actually a story here, and there's great acting, and you want to follow this right along. But this one, no, this is garbage.
There's not great acting, but there's a great actor. Like, what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah.
After the last two shows that I've seen him in, I'm going to put him on a watch.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think it's his fault.
Watch.
Maybe he's not getting the jobs or stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so you have a minute and 20 seconds. Talk about what you want.
Okay. Checking up the stats on terrorist attacks in the United States since 9/11. Wouldn't you include 9/11? No, they want to make it reassuring people that the real terrorists to fear in the United States are right-wing militia types. Well, they represent roughly 57% of the population, and they do 57% of the terrorism. In other words, 57% of the population in the United States is white. Well, let's just represent. Oh, how about Muslim terrorists? Well, they do. What's the stat they gave? Something like 33%. I think it's more, but we'll say 33% of the terrorists. What's the percentage of the population? 1.2 to 1.3%. Way overrepresented. And when we come to killing, Muslim terrorism has killed, since 9/11, has killed 41% of the people killed by terrorists in the United States.